Hey guys, so I'm here today to talk to you about knee stability. So firstly is understanding what knee stability or instability is, and then how we can fix or solve this problem. So what is knee stability? Now, specifically, we are talking about, in a negative aspect, knee collapse. So this is when knees collapse inwards. This can happen in the gym when people are squatting, knees starting to collapse inwards like this. You can see they come in, they're not staying over my toes. And it happens as well during lunges. Knees can collapse in, and you can see the knee is not over the toe anymore. And what you get from this is you get leakage, energy leakage or force leakage. This is an up and down movement. And what's happening is because I'm shifting things this way, it's not going up and down. It means I can't lift as much. I'm not stable enough, obviously. There's also an injury risk to this. So with this increased chance of injury, this is definitely something that we want to work on to keep you stable and reduce that risk of injury, increase the stability, and therefore the amount of force you can produce, which is going to have a greater payoff immediately and in the long run. So how do we solve knee instability? The first thing is, are you aware that you're doing it? This comes in cueing and self-awareness. So the amount of times I've coached people in the gym that I talk about this thing specifically, and they have no idea that they're doing it. So just by starting to become aware of it is something that we can start to combat. Now, in the knee stability, we are looking at the foot, the knee, and the hip. As you can see, if I start to come down and I have my knee come inwards, a lot of the weight on my foot is moved towards the inside of my foot, and I don't have a lot of pressure on the outside as the knee and the weight has shifted in. My hip has rotated in as well. But what we're after is that perfect alignment throughout the movement. And very importantly, you can see I have my shoes off. A lot of shoes nowadays have a lot of foam padding, which create a lot of instability. Either get better shoes, which are flatter and harder, or scrap the shoes entirely when it comes to these movements or exercises, because what they're going to be doing is not helping you stay stable. Because you're going to be losing stability underfoot, you're not connected to the floor and will be worse off trying to stabilize your knees. The first thing to coach is the feet, tripod foot. Now, imagine this is my foot. This is my big toe, the base of my big toe. Imagine this is the toe. This is the base of my big toe, the base of my pinky toe, and my heel. If I have all 3 points in contact with the floor evenly, then I'm going to be very well balanced in the middle of my foot. That's the first thing to teach, is whilst you're in your position, you're standing there and you're trying to push down into the floor. So they say, screw your feet into the floor. Imagine base of your big toe, base of your pinky toe, and your heel, all 3 points in contact. With this, you can focus on keeping the knees tracking over the toes as you come down. Because as soon as it comes in, you're going to feel a loss of pressure on the outside of your foot. So that self-awareness is the first cue to be able to get to better movement. It's technique training. Now, it's not always cut and dry where you say, this is how you fix it, go do it, and now suddenly you can do it because you've understood the technique. Sometimes the body doesn't let you get into that position. So first thing I'll say on this, with hips and ankles, if they have mobility restrictions, they are going to impact this movement as well. So if you are suffering with tight ankles or calves and tight hips, you should go to the mobility series that I have to help improve that mobility, because it will massively help with your knee stability. Now, with a better understanding of cueing and how you can be getting into better positions, what we can do from there is start to train this through movement. Now, the best way to do this is single leg. Single leg work. Now, this is called a single leg step down, and you should be able to see this perfectly. What you do is you stand up on top of a box or a step or whatever you have available. Now, first thing is making sure you're nice and balanced. With this, you're looking to keep that tripod foot position. So base of big toe, base of pinky toe, and heel. And you can see already, got a bit of wobbles because it's working on stability the whole time. But then what you're going to do is you're going to teach yourself how to load your glutes and how to load your quads together to go through this movement. So I'll show you front on and then I'll show you side on. So front on, what you're looking to see is that tripod foot position. Your job is to bend at the hip, bend at the knee at the same time, touch the foot to the floor, keep yourself stable here, and then pushing through. So you're using your bum, you're using your quads, you're loading this movement well and driving up. And you're not allowing this knee to come buckling in. And it's something to work on over time. Now, from the side, it should look something like this. As I stand up on the step, you can see I'm going to be flexing from my hip and my knee at the same time. So in my bottom position, I'm using my bum and I'm using my quads at the same time. So I'm not just pushing all the stress through my knee, I'm using my bum. And those bum muscles, they're strong and they can really help stabilize the knee. And you're gonna flow through reps, thinking about maintaining balance and touching. With this exercise, this obviously has progressions. The higher up the box, the longer down you have to travel. And the greater the range of motion, the harder it's going to be. Some people don't have the stability or the strength to get down into that position. So your job is to build this up over time so you can get up to greater box heights. Going from this one, I can move it up to a higher step. Higher step, more range of motion. Same thing, using more of the hips, more of the quads, going through my reps. Working on keeping that knee stable as you go through. This will have big translation into your strength exercises, into your squats, into your lunges. And you're going to start to switch on muscles and get them to work on a better movement pattern. So what's very important is to understand that knees buckling in sometimes comes from the glutes and the glute medius, which is the upper top right portion of the glute, not being switched on or not firing. So it's not allowing the knee to move outwards because this muscle is asleep. So we have to wake it up. And the great way that you can wake it up is by using mini bands. I know this is my color, but what you're going to do is you're going to get this band and you're going to put it just above your kneecaps. What you can do from here is crab walks or lateral walks. So your job is to step in this slightly flexed position. So you can see my knees are bent and my hips are bent. So from side on, you can see here, hips bent, knees bent. And I'm gonna step to the side, doing steps each way. And honestly, you're going to do this until you really feel this muscle switch on and you feel it burning. Because once that muscle is awake, then you can go back into movements like your squats and like your lunges with a lot more switched on glutes. That's going to help stabilize your knee better.